Hey guys, I'm Helen and this is English in Details. In this video, I'm gonna talk about 5 books which produced a strong impression on me and which I would recommend to students of English at intermediate level or higher. So, let's get started. Book number 1 which I recommend you to read is The Final Diagnosis by Arthur Haley. The author chooses an old-fashioned average-class hospital as the background against which the plot rolls out. A new chief medical officer wants to bring about changes which are bound to improve the quality of medical services and eliminate the setbacks that make the patient suffer. Not a trivial task to accomplish. The major obstacle is the chief pathologist, who's been working in the hospital for more than 30 years, and whose opinion weighs on the decisions taken by other hospital executives. The book tells us how difficult it is for people, especially elderly people, to change their habits, views, and embrace new ideas, despite the obvious benefits this change may bring about. It shows how hard it is to leave one's comfort zone and keep an open mind, especially if one is up to the help in daily routine. However, when human life is at stake, being busy with the issues of the day seems to be a poor excuse. The plot keeps you in suspense. There are several touching moments that will stir the soul of the most cold-hearted cynic. If petty mishaps bring you down, this book will throw cold water on you and will remind you that the most important thing is human life. Book number 2 is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This book is not intended for a wide audience, but I couldn't help mentioning it as it produced a tremendous everlasting impression on me. The story is set in a lunatic asylum where the life is more like surviving under a totalitarian regime, when your every step is controlled and free will is suppressed. The characters are the patients of the clinic, an illusion to most people broken by the totalitarian system. And then there is a senior nurse, Mrs. Wretched, who rules her patients with a rod of iron. And then we have McMurphy, the protagonist, who under the pressure of life circumstances finds himself trapped in the walls of the clinic, and who is not willing to put up with the established order. So he dares to defy it. The behavior of this truly free and strong man, his way of thinking, are matched against the miserable existence led by other patients, who bow to the system and who are so intimidated that not only are they afraid of speaking their mind, but they seem to be unable to laugh out loud. Is it possible for an individual living in such circumstances not to lose oneself, one's internal freedom and presence of mind, and more importantly, the ability to laugh so that the system has no power over you? McMurphy dares to throw down a challenge to the system and tries to persuade the other patients that he is able to destabilize the order, playing by the rules, and make the big nurse lose her temper without her getting the best of him. And as I said, this is a serious book. It is not good for relaxation over a cup of coffee. It gives you much food for thought. I would recommend it to people over 30 who are interested in relations between man and state. The next book I highly recommend you to read is the book called Master of the Game by Sidney Sheldon. The protagonists are strong, ambitious people. They pursue high aims and stop at nothing to get what they want, even when their lives are at stake. However, being obsessed with some idea, you should always remember what drives you and be sure that the ends justify the means, as few people would be ready to pay the price the characters pay in the end. The book is a real page-turner, captivating from the very first pages. As you read it through, you are about to explore a lot of unexpected turns, which makes Sidney Sheldon a true master of the unexpected. Also, you are bound to experience a whole spectrum of feelings, so you will not put down the book until it is read to the end. You won't sleep over this book, I promise. The next book that deserves your attention is The Talented Mr. Ripley. Well, let's take a look at it. It is hardly disputable that even if you have a natural talent, the road to success is never too simple. It takes a lot of time and requires tremendous efforts. Whether you become successful or not largely depends on the circumstances that surround you. The protagonist is intelligent, calculating, and talented. However, he is in a financially disadvantaged condition, so he decides to shorten his road to success, to get what he wants here and now without much exertion, and live his dream. The book will tell you his story and where his dream will take him in the end. And finally, book number 5, which I recommend, is Dances with Wolves. The Civil War is over. Lieutenant John Dunbar, a decorated war hero, wants to see the frontier before it is gone. He is sent to a remote outpost at his own request. When he arrives at the fort in the middle of nowhere, he finds that the garrison is gone. Now he is the only man in the wilderness with no one to help him. Still, he decides to stay and fulfill his duty. John Dunbar thinks there is no living soul nearby, and he is all alone. But that's where he is wrong. He soon meets Comanches, an Indian tribe. They are suspicious of each other, but soon become friends. This book is about manhood, courage, friendship, and love. More importantly, it teaches you one thing. If you want to find yourself and discover who you really are, you need to leave your past behind and destroy everything you've been before. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would appreciate if you write in the comments below about your favorite book or books you would recommend to other English students. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.